In this video, we're going to talk about how to write the conditional statement, the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. So let's dive into this video. The first thing we want to do is kind of talk about how to write these if-then statements. That's what a conditional statement is. It's if the hypothesis, then the conclusion. And we can abbreviate a little bit like this notation here. If P, then Q. You can kind of think of the arrows like then. So the converse, though, what you're doing is you're saying the statement kind of like in reverse. You're switching the hypothesis and the conclusion. And so you're saying if Q, then P. With the inverse, you're keeping them in the same order, the hypothesis and the conclusion. But you see this little squiggly line? That means the negation. We add the word not. So we say if not P, then not Q. And then the contrapositive, what you're doing is it's a combination of the converse and the inverse. So you're switching the hypothesis and the conclusion, and you're negating both of them. So you would say, if not Q, then not P. So let's write some problems here, some examples. I mean, if an angle is 48 degrees, then it is acute. So let's think about this. So if you have an angle that's 48 degrees, that's an acute angle. Remember, an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, right? Between 0 and 90. So what you might want to do with the conditional statement is whatever comes after the if, we'll underline it. Okay, and whatever comes after the then, we're going to underline it. That's our conclusion. So we have if the hypothesis, then the conclusion. So that's our initial conditional statement, our if-then statement. Now, let's ask ourselves a question. Is this true? If an angle is 48 degrees, is it acute? Well, we said 48 is less than 90. That is acute. So let's just put T for true here. Okay. Now, for the converse, how would we write that? Well, we said the converse is like saying it in reverse, like you're switching the hypothesis and the conclusion. So for this one, we would say if an angle is acute, then it measures 48 degrees. Now, you can see here that I had to adjust the wording a little bit. You know, I said if an angle is acute, then it measures 48 degrees, just to make it read a little bit better. If I just switched them, if I said if it is acute, then an angle is 48 degrees, it might not read quite as nice. So you have to adjust it a little bit. But notice here, is this true? If an angle is acute, meaning less than 90, then it measures 48. Well, it could be 89 degrees or 88 degrees or 87 degrees. So this converse here actually was not true. So I'm going to write F for false. And so let's go now to the inverse. The inverse, remember, that's where you keep the hypothesis and the conclusion in the same order, but you're just negating both of them. So you're saying if not P, then not Q. And so how would that read? It would basically say if an angle is not 48 degrees, then it is not acute. It is not acute. Now, is that true? If an angle is not 48 degrees, then it's not acute. Well, if it's not 48, it could be 49, and that would still be acute, and here it's saying it's not acute. So that's false. So let's just mark that as F. And I want to show you something at the very end that's kind of helpful. Lastly, the contrapositive. So contrapositive is like a combination of the converse and the inverse. You're switching the hypothesis and the conclusion, and you're negating both of them. So the way that would look, it would say, if an angle is not acute, so if an angle is not acute, then it does not measure 48 degrees. Okay, now let's see, does that make sense? If an angle is not acute, meaning it's not between 0 and 90 degrees, then it does not measure 48. That's true, because if it's not between 0 and 90, there's no way that it could be 48 degrees, right? So this is true, but notice what happened here. The original conditional statement, that was true, the contrapositive was true. These are what are called equivalent statements. And that's a good thing to remember. Like the conditional and the contrapositive, they're going to have the same quote unquote truth value, meaning if this guy is true, this guy's true. If this guy's false, this guy's false, right? They have the same truth value. And notice that our converse and our inverse they were both false. They had the equivalent truth value. And that's another important property to remember, that basically if the converse is true, the inverse is true. If the converse is false, the inverse is false. They have the same truth value. So sometimes when you're doing these problems, you say, well, I know that the inverse is false, but I'm not sure about the converse. Well, if you're 100% sure that the inverse is false, the converse will be false because they're equivalent statements. So that's the key. You might want to memorize these little shorthand ways of remembering all those types of conditional statements. And if you want to see more practice, which I highly recommend, follow me over to the video I did previously there. You can see what I looked like when I was younger, as well as get some additional practice. So go on over to that video and I'll see you there.